What's up, everybody? Coming to you today with the what's next on the undefeated and newly crowned WBO Super Bantamweight World Champion Stephen Fulton Jr. Fulton fought in the main event of a Showtime card on Saturday, January 23rd, when he defeated the previously undefeated Angelo Leo to win the WBO title. Now, before I jump into that, guys, if you could like my page, even a thumbs down helps the algorithms, to get more views and stuff. Leave a comment, let's debate, or even subscribe to my channel would be great. I appreciate the support. Okay, so let's jump into it. So Stephen Fulton and Angelo Leo, it's kind of Fulton came in a slight favorite going into the, heading in, and they were supposed to fight back in August, and Fulton had to pull out with the coronavirus just days before the fight. So Angelo Leo, excuse me, last second, Angelo Leo ended up facing off against Tremaine Williams, an undefeated prospect on the rise. And, Leo pretty much beat him up, bullied him, beat him up over 12 rounds to a one-sided decision as he captured the vacant title. But Stephen Fulton was guaranteed the title shot following that. And in the fight, as I discussed earlier in the week, Fulton just ate up Leo. He just outworked him, outboxed him, outclassed him. Went toe-to-toe in his face, but was turning him, using good head movement and defense and, shoulder rolls while he was on the inside, and got a clean 12-round unanimous decision in that one as he captured his first title. It was a big win right there. Now the big question is, what's next for Stephen Fulton Jr. following that victory over Angelo Leo? Well, if you're asking me my, personally what I think, I will get to that at the end of the video. There are a couple options on the table that have been discussed since that fight this past week. First of all was Daniel Roman, the former unified champion, has expressed interest in this fight. So that would be a big one right there. Roman's still top 3. Heading into 2020, he was number 1. So he's right there, and it's a makeable fight with the PBC. The other fight is the Michael Conlan fight. Michael Conlan's number 2 in the WBO at 122. And he competes for top rank in Bob Arum, but both expressed interest in that fight this week. So we'll see. Let's run through the top 10 slightly and see what possibly could be next, and then I'll make my prediction on what I think is going to happen. So we start with number 1, the undefeated unified world champion Murajan Akhmadiev. Don't see this one happening next. Akhmadiev has a mandatory due against Ryosuke Iwasa. Not sure what network that's going to take place on, but they're looking at March 13th as the working date right now for that fight to possibly happen in Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan, one of those two. So we'll see. But yeah, it looks like that fight is going to be like he'll be making a mandatory against somebody else. So it doesn't look likely that these two guys would lock horns. Maybe later in the year, who knows? Number 2 is undefeated WBC champion Luis Nery. Now, I think this fight has an outside chance. I personally don't feel like this fight's going to happen next, just because Nery fought in September. It's almost 5 months later now, into February. I don't think he wants to wait around for a fight, and I heard he's close to signing his next fight anyways. But, we got to wait and see what goes on with that one. We haven't heard who the favorite is. We know he's interested in unifications. That's one thing he did say. But Fulton would be the only other world champion available to talk about besides Akhmadiev. So does Nery want to wait around for either one of these other champions? I don't think so. So it's not looking like unification next for Nery. He might have to wait till the end of the year on that one, but it's a makeable fight if it does happen, because they're both with PBC, and it would be a fun fight too. Number 3 is former unified champ Daniel Roman. Well, yeah, this one, again, there's interest in this fight. Very possible that this fight could happen next. Roman's hasn't fought since September, but I don't think he would mind waiting around a couple months, maybe possibly to April, to get a shot at Stephen Fulton Jr. I think Roman is the favorite to fight Luis Neri next, but that could change because Roman definitely has expressed interest in this fight with Fulton. Number 4 is Ryosuke Iwasa. Iwasa has had ties with the PBC. His last couple fights, he's most likely fighting Murajan Akhmadayev next for the unified title. On March 13th. Now, if that fight goes through and Iwasa pulls off the upset, becomes a unified champion, yeah. I mean, he's had ties and worked with the PBC now a couple times, so I definitely think Iwasa would be into a fight with Stephen Fulton, so that is possible. But I don't think it's going to happen because I think Iwasa is going to lose to Akhmadayev, and so I don't see that fight taking place, but it could. Next at number 5 is Havanassian. Don't see this one, him and Fulton locking up. Havanassian's going to return this month in February, but he's the number 1 contender at the WBA title right now, and I think he's going to try to wait around for a showdown with Akhmadayev later in the year. Well, we'll see. Number 6 is undefeated WBA regular champion Brandon Figueroa. Figueroa hasn't fought since September. I don't know if they're going to want Figueroa and him to lock horns. Figueroa could be getting a shot at Luis Neri, but I don't see Figueroa taking a chance against Fulton next. But they definitely could fight later in the year, but I'm not seeing it next. Number 7 is Ronnie Rios. Now, this one's interesting. Rios is fighting most likely against Oscar Negret in February. So I think this one could happen right here. I wouldn't completely rule this one out. Possible, but I'm going to lean towards the no, but I do think possibly they could fight next. But Golden Boy would have to work with the PBC, and I don't see that. Number 8 is, Stephen Fulton comes in he was number 7, Ronnie Rios number 8. Now number 9, Ionut Baluta. Another one that could happen. Baluta's ranked number 9 in the WBO. He's coming off of 2 big wins in 2020, upset victories over TJ Doheny and David Allen Joyce. So I definitely think it's possible that him and Fulton could lock horns if Fulton wants to take take on a guy like Baluta coming off of 2 big wins. But I think Fulton's going to try to go for other options first, but definitely possible. And now tied for 10th is TJ Doheny, the former IBF champion. I'm not seeing it. Doheny's probably coming back first and taking a stay busy fight. And he might not even be fighting in this weight class. So I don't see Doheny and Fulton next. Outside chance. And then finally a rematch with the other number 10, Angelo Leo. I'm not seeing it. There's no call for a rematch. Stephen Fulton won pretty convincingly. So now the question is, what do I think he's going to do next? Well, coming from True Boxing, my prediction is I believe the Michael Conlan fight is the most likely choice. The reason why is Michael Conlan is ranked highly in the WBO rankings, and he wants a title shot. I definitely think it's possible. Now, the only thing holding up this fight would be Top Rank working with PBC. But if the WBO orders this fight has to happen. But it would likely happen on the champion's terms, which would be on Showtime. So I think Bob Arum, knowing that Michael Conlan hasn't hit big, hasn't hit huge yet on ESPN, I think he'd be okay with that as long as it was for the title. And I know Michael Conlan wants to fight and is interested in it. I'm leaning towards that fight next for Stephen Fulton, especially if the WBO orders it. Now, if the WBO does not order it and Luis Neri does not select Daniel Roman as his next opponent, I think Roman is the second most logical choice for Stephen Fulton Jr. I really could see that fight happening. But again, I think Luis Neri has to pass on that fight. Unless I'm wrong, I think him and Roman have been talking since September. And Roman's highly ranked in the WBC. And, that's what I think is going to happen right there. Now, the third option is, I think it could be anybody. I really don't have a solid third option that it could be, unless Luis Neri is willing to wait around, and I don't see that. So I really think those are the most logical top 2 choices right there. And if it's not them, he might just face whoever to kind of stay busy and keep rolling forward. Maybe, like I said, maybe Ionu Galuda. But it really could be anybody at this point. But Stephen Fulton, that was a very nice win. He deserved it. Good performance. And that's what's next on him. Hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing. Been hit with the truth.